Hello, friends. Back again. Today's already September 3rd. So I'll be posting this on the 4th. I'm trying to make videos a day ahead so that when things come up that I at least have a video to share with you guys. So anyway, I wanted to talk about my little Today I Will prompting for daily mindfulness jar that I got at the dollar spot at Target. So let's see what it has to tell us today. So here it is. Listen to others while they are speaking. Well, that's a good hint because so many times we don't do that. Even when somebody is talking and we don't answer right away, we are already, at least I know I do this, in our head following along with the conversation, but we're already formulating in our heads what the answer is going to be. And that's not really listening to the person. And I think it's important that we actually let them continue to say what it is they're going to say, quiet your mind, and actually absorb what it is they're saying, pause, and then formulate your answer. And that is really hard to do. I know it is. It's very difficult to do. So anyway, I don't have anything special to talk about today. I just wanted to come on and say hello and share a couple of the things I'm going to be cooking this week. I'm going to try and post my dinner tonight with what I end up making, but a couple of the things that I found in my freezer still need to thaw out, and so those I won't be making today, but a day this week, because I am still trying to cook from my freezer and pantry and do at least a low spend month. If not, I'll have no spend days, but a low spend month. And I don't really want to turn this channel only into a budget channel because there's a lot of other interests that I have. So, but I will update on those things and what I'm doing to try and save some money, because who doesn't like to do that, right? And the holidays aren't that far off. I know. I don't want to think about it either, but if you're trying to save money and you don't have a huge income to buy a lot of gifts for people, you do need to plan ahead a little bit. So I'm going to try and do that and come up with some gifts that maybe you can have some ideas from too. I'm thinking about making some more of my jewelry, which I did used to sell, but I haven't done that in a long time because I've kind of gotten lazy and don't feel like dragging it all around with me. I used to go to craft and art shows, and I would set up my tables. I had a tent. But with my convertible, it makes it very difficult for me to do those things on my own. And the tables are very heavy, and there's a lot of things that go into it besides just setting it up. You have to carry all the stuff. You have to take your wares with you. So you almost need a van or an SUV to do that, which I don't have. Now, Tom does have one, and in the past he has helped me. But, it's not something that I want to have to rely on somebody else to do. So I may end up reviving my little jewelry business and maybe opening up an Etsy shop or something. Another thing that I did was I used to paint the wine glasses, the margarita glasses, and I used to sell those too, and that was fun. So I need to get crafty and start maybe selling some more of my art, but I really do enjoy doing it. I don't know why I got away from it. I think time and other responsibilities took over. So anyway, I'm going to finish up the video a little bit later with what I cooked today and what I'm eating this evening for dinner. And I'm not really going to be talking to too many people today, so I can listen to what they say, but you never know. Things might change. You might get unexpected company or whatever, but I will be more mindful of listening to people and just trying to listen rather than always come up with an answer or trying to fix their problems. Because a lot of times people just like somebody to talk to. They're not really looking for you to fix their problem. They just want to talk about it to somebody. And that's all I have for now, so I'll be back in a little bit. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Here's what I'll be cooking this week. I'm going to try a couple new recipes. Here's some tofu I've had frozen in the freezer. I'm going to thaw this and refreeze it because supposedly it gets a chicken-like texture to it. I don't know if this tofu will work. Not all of it does. Kind of gets a little stringy like chicken. And this is actually made here in Cleveland. So I've had that frozen, and they say you freeze it twice. So I'm going to thaw this and then freeze it again. Then in my freezer I had this vegan taco crumbles that I made a while back. So I'll be having that with some of those little street tacos that I bought in my little haul the other day. And then I have some okara here, which is actually from making soy milk. And I've had that frozen since November of 18, so it's almost a year. But I'm going to mix that with some nori and a few other things. The original idea came from Mary's Test Kitchen. She has wonderful recipes on there. So I want to try making those fish seafood fillets that she made, and I may also make a couple street tacos with that. So that's the plan. This will be enough for 2 meals, I'm sure. I don't know how many I'll get out of this, and I don't know how many I'll get out of the tofu either. But those are a couple things I want to try this week for my vegan cooking videos. I'm trying to use up my tea bags because I have so many. And for summer, I'm using all my fruit flavored teas. Most of them are green tea, and I make my own iced tea. And this is a very strong tea. I let it steep, at least 24 hours. There's fennel and chamomile and various fruit flavored tea bags in here. I put about 5 of them in this little container, and it has I'll show you here, it has a little insert for making tea. I got this at Tivana quite a while ago, but you can get these anywhere. And I think you can also make coffee in there if you like cold brewed coffee. But I did make another video on that. I'll link that below on how I make my iced tea. And then I finally lit a candle today because the weather is cooling off. I burn candles all winter long, but I haven't really burned any this summer because I want to keep it cool in the house. So those are some of the projects I'm up to today. It's a cooking day. So I plan on doing some of that, a little cleaning, and we'll see where the day goes. And here are my little orchids that I got yesterday when I went to Lowe's looking for a birthday gift. I've had this little white tray here,
It came with Grove. In the past, I've ordered from Grove. I don't do that much anymore because it does get to be expensive. But it's kind of been flying around the house here, not quite knowing what to do with it. So I put my little orchids on it, and I think it looks really cute. So these were only $3 a piece. They're not blooming right now, but they will. I'm going to feed them. And it said on the little tag that you should water these every 10 days. Now, that gets pretty dry, I think, because these are very small, if you can see by the scale of my hand. So we'll see how that goes. But anyway, I think I'm going to end up keeping these because I do love orchids, and I'll see if I can get them to bloom. I think there are 2 white ones and a purple one. So we'll see. If not, I will give them as a gift. This is where my kombucha lives. I'm brewing a batch here, and 8/26 is when I made a new batch. So I keep this covered so it stays a little dark because this room is fairly bright, and it is really brewing up nicely. And I will bottle that up in a couple days. I like to let it go about 10 days. And then over here I have my SCOBY Hotel with my scobies in it, and I do like to keep some extras, and if I get too many scobies I make dog treats out of them. And I also have a video about my dog treats. So that's where my kombucha lives, and I did cover the spout of this with some plastic because a couple batches ago I did get fruit flies in there, so I had to throw the whole batch out and start over again. I was glad I had my SCOBY Hotel. And these are all my other orchids. They aren't blooming right now. They're resting, but they really look healthy. The leaves are nice and green and healthy, and they love this window, and every now and then they do bless me with some blooms. So we'll see what happens. I guess the weather needs to get a little cooler, and then they do bloom again. And they live here with all my Christmas cactuses. So that's quite a lot of Christmas cactuses I have going. And I keep thinking I'm going to put them all in one pot, but from what I hear, they do like to be pot bound. So I just keep them in a display here on the windowsill. They like it here too, and they do bloom. So, and this is my garden room anyway. So that's that.
Right, I'm back. And today I actually did cook the fish tacos that aren't really fish, that are made with the okara, and they turned out really good. I'm going to post that recipe tomorrow, and I think you'll really like it. So don't throw that okara away. You can use it for other recipes. I think you can even make cheese out of it, but I'm not sure. I should try that, see how it comes out. Anyway, I just wanted to pop back in, and if I can find them, I'll post a couple pictures of the fish tacos. But I don't know. Sometimes that works on this computer and sometimes that doesn't. But I will share that recipe with you tomorrow. And that's all I have for you today. And I just wanted to come back and say I love you guys. And I wish you abundant blessings. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing to my channel. If you've come back for a visit, that's awesome. I'm so grateful to have you. So here they go. They must have found something to bark at out there. Anyway, thanks again for stopping back, and I'll see you next time.